Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
The rain is moving out and the cold air settling in. There's a freeze warning in effect for tonight. I'll show you how cold it will be where you are.
Now on WRAL, weighing in on the budget. Parents in Wake County can give their input on the school system's financial plan. Some of the important positions that could be cut under this current proposal.
Modifying Mega Millions, the popular lottery game, is making some big changes. Why the cost of a ticket is more than doubling with tonight's drawing. And every drawing from here on out until it changes again. But more than doubling, I want my odds to more than double. I'm not sure that's happening.
It costs you $5 a ticket.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Good to have you with us here on our Tuesday morning.
And I'm Renee Chu. A high five to you this Tuesday morning. We feel lucky that you're joining us right now. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRL Severe Weather Center. Lucky to have this wild weather roll on out.
We were lucky to have rain last night. Not so lucky in some places where we had severe storms. We'll take a closer look at that in just a bit. And that's the last bit of rain right there exiting our viewing area. And skies are already starting to clear in some places. Do expect some damp roads this morning, but there's not much rain left, not much water left on the road. So it shouldn't be anything that will cause you any real problems for the morning commute. Just beginning to see a little daylight. Look at that. Such a beautiful sunrise on the way. A few lingering clouds, but those clouds are zipping right on out. This is a look, of course, at downtown Raleigh, down toward Fayetteville Street. 51 degrees right now. Dew point, nice and dry at 47. Mid 40s in Roxborough and South Hill, 40s in Southern Pines, Goldsboro and Rocky Mount, and low 50s from the Triangle down toward Fayetteville. Temperatures tomorrow morning will be significantly colder, freezing up near the Virginia line, and mid to upper 30s for the rest of the viewing area. So we do have a freeze warning in effect for everybody except our far southern counties. Specifically, we'll go over it and talk about just how cold it'll be where you are coming up. This afternoon, lots of sunshine, but cool with a high temperature of only 60, Ken.
It's 6:01, Elizabeth. No incidents to report on any of our major routes, which is really good news this morning. Nothing but green showing up. So if you're getting ready to head out the door, wherever you're headed this morning, if it involves any of our major routes, it's delay-free. Let's take a look at one of those major routes. This is I-40 and Wade Avenue. Traffic beginning to pick up just a bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. Heading into the car, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Take a look at these photos shared from viewers in Goldsboro of the damage from yesterday's storms. Splintered wood and the remains of a roof are all that remain after this large oak tree fell onto an outdoor shed in the backyard. Strong gusts brought down smaller trees as well, causing damage to fences and property around Goldsboro.
Heavy spring rains are having an impact in other parts of the country as well. This is Cincinnati. The Ohio River is the highest it's been in more than 7 years, putting parks and streets and landmarks underwater. On top of the flood concerns, the city is now dealing with overnight freeze concerns, which could lead to dangerous icy roads. Responders say it'll take days for the water to recede, and then they will have to clear the roads and inspect them before they'll be deemed safe.
Today, families have the chance to talk to Wake County School Board members about the new budget proposal. It would increase the budget, but could cut some jobs like counselors. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the Wake School headquarters in Cary. And Kelsey, a public hearing is happening today at 5:30, and they want to hear from folks.
Yes, Renee, tonight you will have a chance to offer input about how money is spent in your children's school. School leaders will meet with parents here at the district headquarters later today. This comes after Superintendent Robert Taylor sent in a proposed budget. It includes $18 million in cuts, which may mean eliminating some secretary and counselor positions. He's also asking the county for an extra $40 million to cover higher costs. The district is expecting more students. They're opening new schools, and the cost of employee benefits will likely increase. State lawmakers may decide to boost salaries for state-funded employees. That includes several teachers and administrators. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst explains how this could have a local impact.
If the state approves salary increases for state-funded employees, the county would have to react by matching those salary increases for those local employees.
County commissioners will review the budget next month. Then from there, we're expecting to hear how much they're willing to give in June. So in the meantime, parents can offer input over the next few weeks to school leaders. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Also today, the Wake County School Board will hear details of a report that says year-round school calendars aren't improving test scores. Researchers will present their findings to the board today. The calendars help save money and reduce overcrowding in fast-growing areas. The study recommends keeping year-round calendars in overcrowded areas, but it says the school board should consider changes in schools that aren't overcrowded. For more on the report's findings, you can go to the education section of WRAL.com. And we'll bring you that new data after tonight's meeting. You can look for updates on it on WRAL News from 4 to 7:30 this evening.
Starting today, rules and ticket prices will change for Mega Millions. This means that your chance of winning prizes will slightly improve. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from Cary with what we need to know if we want to get in the game. Laura, good morning.
Hey, try your luck. Good morning, Renee. We could see more winners and bigger jackpots with the Mega Millions drawing because now player odds will slightly get better, but it quite literally will come at a cost. Starting today, tickets will now cost $5 instead of the $2 that we've typically seen in ticket purchases here. Now, lottery officials expect that jump to increase revenue from the twice weekly game. This enables them to improve the odds of winning the jackpot from 1 in 303 million to 1 in 290 million. Although it is a steep increase, the North Carolina Education Lottery tells us the grand prize is also expected to grow more quickly. The lottery expects the average jackpot will be more than $800 million, which is much higher than the current $450 million average.
If those larger jackpots are available, it stands to reason that we will see more excitement and more play around the game. And over the years, we have also seen the move by a lot of players to spend a few extra dollars if they have a chance at a bigger jackpot or larger prizes.
So this is the second time that we have seen Mega Millions tickets increase. The last time was back in 2017 when it went from $1 to $2. You can catch the drawings every Tuesday and Friday nights right before our 11 p.m. newscast on WRAL. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We're live in Cary.
Time is 6:07. In the past 20 minutes or so, we have learned that South Korea's leadership is saying that warning shots were fired at North Korean soldiers who crossed the border. Again, this is just coming into the newsroom within the past 20 minutes or so. But in addition to firing these warning shots, South Korean leadership said there were some broadcast warnings that were made as well to deter these North Korean soldiers from crossing over the border. Now, since this has all happened, the soldiers have since went back to the north here. And in the meantime, South Korea right now is closely watching to see what the North is doing. And this is also during a time that the South Korea actually just had their president removed from office as well. So we'll be watching very closely to see how this situation develops.
Chris, thanks. New this morning, China says it will, quote, fight to the end if President Trump imposes an additional 50% tariff on Chinese goods. The Chinese ministry said this morning Trump's threat to escalate tariffs is a mistake upon a mistake. If the plan is fully implemented, the total tariffs on goods imported into the U.S. from China would be as much as 104%. Trump threatened the new tariff effective tomorrow if Beijing does not withdraw its 34% tariffs on all U.S. goods by today. Beijing's retaliatory tariffs are scheduled to take effect Thursday. And let's take a look at stock futures this morning. We can see there's a lot more green on the board, and that's a good sign for the start of trading today. We'll let you know what happens when the markets open at 9:30.
State Supreme Court has temporarily blocked a court ruling that would challenge 60,000 voters in a 2024 election. Republican Jefferson Griffin wants to throw out the voters' ballots. He's running for a seat on the state Supreme Court against Democratic incumbent Allison Riggs. Friday, the Court of Appeals ruled in favor of Griffin. The judges gave voters 15 days to prove their identity or have their ballot thrown out. The state Supreme Court blocked that order from going into place.
North Carolina lawmakers plan to discuss a bill that seeks to bring changes to the state's foster care system. Lawmakers are scheduled to discuss what sponsors call the Fostering Care in NC Act in a House Health Committee today. It would give the state more power to check records and enforce rules at local social services offices. This is all happening 2 months after WRAL's documentary, Broken Foster Care in North Carolina. In the documentary, we exposed major problems in the system. That QR code you see on your screen will take you right to the documentary. You can also go to WRAL.com. Today, we'll get an update on the school resource officer and traffic control officer agreement at Cumberland County Schools. Fayetteville City Council, Cumberland County Commissioners, the Sheriff's Office, and the Board of Education will all attend today's meeting. It's at 2 o'clock in the Tony Rand Student Center at Fayetteville Tech Community College. Public seating is available.
First time in almost 20 years, the Florida Gators are the NCAA men's basketball national champions. It was a nail-biter, ended late last night. In case you missed it, this was between Houston and Florida, and the Gators trailed for most of the second half. They climbed out of a 12-point deficit and pulled ahead in the final minute and won it 65-63. Tough loss for the Cougars. This would have been the program's first national title, and Houston's head coach Kelvin Sampson is from Pembroke, Robeson County, and a member of the Lumbee Indian tribe.
It is 6:10. Focused on wellness. A new council formed by the governor works to improve the school experience for students. The first task they're aiming to accomplish in the coming months.
And eliminating fluoride from our drinking water, why Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says it's necessary. And we're a lot cooler today than we have been the last couple of days, Elizabeth.
Yeah, we had all that rain yesterday, so we still have some damp streets in places, but look at that, pretty sunrise in progress. We're going to see lots of sunshine today, but we'll talk about a very cold night in store.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, last night's rain is pretty much out of the viewing area. We're beginning to see some clearing. You might run into some wet streets out there, but nothing weather-wise that really should affect your morning commute. Look at this pretty sunrise just starting here over downtown Raleigh. You'll notice temperatures are cooler than they were yesterday. It's 43 in Roxborough, 50 in Cary, 48 in Garner, and 51 degrees in Goldsboro. We're going to see plenty of sunshine for today, but behind our cold front, our wind is coming out of the north, so it's delivering some much colder air. So at lunchtime, temperatures are only in the mid-50s, and we'll see a high of 60 degrees. So it's really going to be sweater weather for today. Overnight tonight, our temperatures really take a plunge. A lot of folks will see temperatures in the 30s and some down near freezing. I'll show you if you'll be one of those coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, a rather quiet start to our morning commute here around the Triangle, but I do want to update this crash on I-95. I've been following it for the last hour or so. Right now, we're not seeing any delays in the area, but just in case you have friends or family coming in from out of town and they're using I-95 South, just let them know once they cross over into North Carolina, they'll have an issue right there and around the Halifax area, just south of Roanoke Rapids. And coming up, Renee, we're getting reports of traffic lights being out at Spring Forest and Falls of News. I'll let folks know how that's going to affect their morning commute.
Okay, definitely let us know. Ken, thank you. Today, North Carolina lawmakers will discuss a bill to give the state auditor new powers. Auditor Dave Bullock is already allowed to audit state and local government agencies. And a bill introduced by Republican lawmakers would allow Bullock to audit any individual or business that receives state funding. The bill would also allow the auditor to hire contractors without getting approval from the governor, which is currently required. The auditor's office here would exempt Bullock from the state law that requires all contracts for services of a consultant or advisory nature to be approved by the governor.
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wants to make changes to your drinking water. Michelle McConaughey is here now with why he wants to get rid of fluoride in the water across the country and a reaction from some who say fluoride is necessary.
Yeah, Jeff, Kennedy says that he's actually assembling a task force to deal with the issue. This has been a hotly contested issue for so many years. Some say fluoride is necessary, while others say it does more harm than good. The EPA has the authority to set the maximum level of fluoridation in public water systems. They said yesterday they are reviewing, quote, new scientific information on the possible health risks of fluoride in drinking water. According to the CDC, fluoride strengthens teeth and reduces cavities. However, Kennedy has claimed fluoride as a, quote, dangerous neurotoxin.
Now we know that there is no systemic advantage, zero systemic advantage. and that the only advantage comes from topical application.
We think the impact with the increase in decay will cause more children to be out of school. It'll cause more people to not be working.
Utah became the first state to ban fluoride in public drinking water last month, pushing past opposition from dentists and national health organizations who warned the move could lead to medical problems. CDC data showed in 2022, roughly 88% of North Carolina's population was served by fluoridated community water systems.
Governor Josh Stein is creating a new council to focus on student safety and well-being. The first focus is coming up with the best practices for cell phone use in school. The group will include legislators, school leaders, mental health professionals, and public safety officers. Stein says the council has until June 1st, to draft that cell phone policy.
A popular basketball coach in Granville County is appealing the school district's decision to reassign him to a different school. A large crowd showed up at the Granville County Public School Board meeting last night. They came to show support for the South Granville basketball coach, Jake Wofile. This comes after the district's recent decision to consolidate 2 middle schools because of declining enrollment. The move reassigned 11 staff members, including Wofile. The district used a rubric system to evaluate which teachers will be reassigned. And some say the system was miscalculated. Wofile is hoping to learn if his appeal will be accepted this Friday.
6:18 the time right now. Beautiful sunrise on the way. We had a load of rain yesterday, much needed rain. Elizabeth Gardner is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. Clouds are breaking up. We can see it.
They are. Look at that right behind you. Pretty sunrise in progress. We have a cold front that's sweeping across the area right now. The one that helped to bring most of the rain is offshore. This is a secondary dry front that is going to deliver drier and colder air. That's really going to open the gates almost to the Arctic. Temperatures are going to drop into the upper 20s, low 30s in some parts of the viewing area. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. But Fayetteville's starting to become a little brighter. Look at this, practically clear here near Terminal 2. You can see that pretty sunrise starting to develop. The streets are still damp in Chapel Hill as well as Apex and really all across the viewing area. But we don't have a lot of standing water. It shouldn't be anything that causes any real problems for the morning commute. The last bit of rain has moved out of the viewing area, but boy, it was a good soaker for everybody. Siler City with one of the highest rainfall totals at around 2 inches. Willow Spring at almost 2 inches, a little over 1.75 inches in Wake Forest and in Goldsboro, and then over 1.5 inches in Warrenton and about 1.5 inches in 4 Oaks. So we needed that rain in terms of our drought monitor, our drought situation, and of course to knock our pollen numbers down. But we also ended up with some severe storms yesterday, especially in some of our eastern, southeastern counties. The gray circles there are where we had wind damage. So one of those near Rocky Mount, some around Goldsboro and Fayetteville. So we did have some trees down that did do some damage yesterday. We did have a level 2 risk for severe storms. Our next weather maker will be a bit of a weaker system. We'll see rain overnight Thursday night into Friday. Some hail is possible. This doesn't look like a major severe weather event for us, but keep it tuned here. This is Thursday at 8 o'clock. So during the overnight hours or the evening hours, we'll start to see the rain, and it will be with us for a good bit of the day on Friday. Keep that in mind if you had Friday plans, but it does look like the weekend will be nice and dry. How much rain out of this one? Probably around 1/4 inch or so, maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch, and then it moves on out. So sunshine for the weekend, but temperatures remain cool. 62 on Saturday and 67 on Sunday. If you like the warm temperatures, hold on. Once we get past the weekend, there's a look, another 82-degree day. Of course, we're looking at a very cold night tonight in the low to mid 30s. I'll show you exactly what the temperature is likely to be where you are. Ken, I'm coming in tomorrow in the big coat.
You and me both. All right, thanks a lot, Elizabeth. Listen, so we're good around here in terms of all our major rounds, but photographer Michael Joyner is on a scene right now. The traffic lights are out at Spring Forest and Falls of News as a result of a power outage. He just sent us this picture a little while ago. So definitely, if Falls of News is part of your morning commute, Spring Forest Road, just know the traffic lights are out, and use that four-way stop that you come to where you give each other some time to navigate that area safely. But you're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Still to come this morning, a newborn blessing. The widow of an NHL player killed by an impaired driver gives birth to a son. The tribute she gave the baby in honor of Johnny Gaudreau.
Monument on the mend. Crews hope to have Chimney Rock open in time for Memorial Day weekend. The timeline for new repairs in western North Carolina.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Ethan Hunt returns on another mission to save the world, and aging pop stars repair their friendship after a decades-old feud.
Ken Smith here now with What's Trending. Ken.
Renee and Jeff, strap in. It's time for another impossible mission.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
Oh, yeah. We're getting our first look at the first full-length trailer for the 8th film in the Mission Impossible series. The movie features multiple death-defying stunts from Tom Cruise reprising his role as Ethan Hunt. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning opening theaters May 23rd, just in time for Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, is it The Final Reckoning?
He always one last time.
He always seems like he is one of those death-defying stunts that he does himself away from a Final Reckoning. But yeah, we're going to get at it again. This is not a part 2. This is a Final Reckoning.
Spoiler alert, he always makes it. He makes it.
Yeah. And we think
the
this might be
movie.
the final one. We don't
Maybe.
know. Well, how about this? Madonna and Elton John making amends after a years-long feud. The Vogue singer posted to Instagram sharing that she went to watch Elton John perform on Saturday Night Live over the weekend. She later shared a photo with him as proof that they've buried the hatchet. But Madonna says once they met backstage, he asked for forgiveness.
So the feud goes back to 2002 when Elton John publicly expressed his dislike for Madonna's Bond theme, Die Another Day. Then in 2004, he accused her of lip syncing. But apparently that's all worked out now. And Madonna even revealed that Elton John says he would like to work together with her in the future. So maybe a legendary collab coming up.
I can see it.
Do it quickly, please.
Yeah.
I love it.
That'd be fabulous. Ken, thank you. A blessing for the family of former NHL player Johnny Gaudreau. His widow announced the birth of a healthy baby boy. Meredith Gaudreau shared the news on social media, saying Carter Michael Gaudreau was born on April 1st. His birth came 7 months after her husband was tragically killed while biking with his brother. Gaudreau says the baby shares the same middle name as his dad, and he weighs 8 pounds, 3 ounces, and that was the same weight that Johnny was also born at. Avoiding danger. Trees came crashing down during yesterday's storms. Hear from a woman whose home was nearly caught in the path of a falling oak.
We're tracking the trade war. China says it won't back down as President Trump vows increased tariffs. The impact we're seeing on the markets this morning.
And the rain is gone. Look at this clear sky over RDU as our sunrise is taking shape, but colder air will filter in. We have a freeze warning for most of the viewing area. I'll show you how cold it will get coming up.